Hi nail friends, it's Merida and welcome back to Corgis, Wine and Nails. I do have a corgi named Ryder who is running around and probably going to make noise during this video. And we have a little sip of wine. Today's fun nail part of the video is going to be a super cute retro Christmas inspired mani look using Double Dip nail products. I was inspired by a Christmas gift box that I saw. And before we get started, I will show you these nail nuggets. Look at these. I chopped my nails. And I asked on Instagram if you were interested in seeing me attempt to dip these little shorties, and a couple hundred of you said yes. So here we are. I'm going to try to do this really fun look on these little short guys. So stay tuned if you'd like to see. I would love to say thank you to Double Dip for sponsoring today's video. Here I'll be using our basic dip liquids, and then here are 5 colors I selected that were inspired by a gift box that I saw. So I'll insert a picture of that gift box as well, but I really loved the retro Christmas vibes: Baby Rosa, Coconut Mojito, Charlie's Angels, Fairy Cotton, and Fuchsia Boots. Here's my inspiration picture. I actually received this in an email from Ulta. I should warn you that this video is going to be somewhat long because I'm going to show you end to end, including buffing, filing, shaping, the whole dip process on these little shorties. To get started, I'm just lightly rolling around my dip powders. I'm not shaking them or anything crazy, but loosening up the powders and getting them nice and fluffy. Then we will go straight into using our dip base to apply the Charlie's Angel white powder. I'm going to start with my lightest powder first. And since I'm dipping shorties, I was going to try here on this middle nail to show you a technique where it can help if you want to make sure that you don't get too much bulk around your cuticle area. And so basically you'll just start about 3/4 of the way down and do your first dip 3/4 of the way down. And I'm doing pour over on the first dip, and then I'll lay flat on the next 2 dips. But I just wanted to be sure that the base layer was really, really smooth. And so pouring over is a really good way to make sure that you don't get any lumps and bumps. And so I always clean up my edges and dust off with my magical unicorn mermaid dusting brush. This is also from Double Dip. I love that brush. And then as I was saying, for the second coat, I'm going to apply that as a full coat over the nail bed. And I'm kind of wiggling the brush a little bit to fan it out when it gets really close to that cuticle area. And then make sure you get the sidewalls. So get a nice, just even layer of your base dip application. And then you're going to lay flat this next time and get a really nice full coverage coat for the second coat. Be sure when you're laying flat into the cake liner that you're not hitting the bottom. You don't want to smudge anything. And then this is a good way to get an even application, because if you dip into the jar, you may create friction with the liquid and the powder, and that could cause lumps and bumps. And when you have got lumps and bumps on short nails, it really shows. And I decided that I just wanted to do 3 dips. I do love Double Dip's liquids. I like the formula. It's nice and thin and user-friendly. So I thought 3 dips was going to be the perfect amount of product where they'll still be strong, but they won't be too thick. So that is why I decided to do just 3 dips, and I was happy with the strength and the thickness that I got as a result. So the next color that we're using is Fairy Cotton, and I selected that because technically it was one of the second to lightest colors, and I want to work in order of light to dark or light to bright. And so you'll notice that I'll save that really, really hot pink that's called Fuchsia Boots for the last color because it is so vibrant and so highly pigmented. You have a chance of getting some of that powder in your liquids or just like in general, like all over the place. So it's always best to save those ones for last, and then that way you can kind of keep things clean as you go. And if you're wondering why does it look so crusty when I run that tool, that precision tool around my cuticle line, I do have a coat of double dip builder gel on my nails, but then I also applied a peel base before I started dipping. And so that's just a little bit of like residue from around the edges of the cuticle of the peel base that's coming up, not the builder gel. It's just a little bit of peel base residue. So don't be alarmed if that looks weird. Since the dipping process is going to be the same for the remaining 4 nails here, I was going to suggest to you that if you want to recreate this look, then Double Dip offers build your own nail kits, which is not that common across the dip powder brands. And I just think it's such a good idea because a lot of the other brands have pre-selected colors that are bundled together. And with the Double Dip one, you get to choose the colors that you want in your kit. So you could pick the 6-color kit and either add in a clear or another color that catches your eye, or you could choose the 4-color kit and either add on the remaining color, or if you already have a color in your collection that's similar, then you could use that too. So it's just a really easy way to grow your dip powder collection, but also get the liquids and nail tools and some other nail necessities all packaged together. I just really like the kit and the idea of it because I like that you get to pick what you want in it. And if you want to save a little money while you're shopping, you can use my affiliate code. It's Miranda25 and it'll save you 25% off site-wide at doubledipstore.com. I also want to mention part of the vibe and the idea around the gift box for today's mani is because, you know, Christmas is kind of that spirit of giving, and in that same spirit, Double Dip is going to be making a donation to the charity Toys for Tots for all sales that come through in December. So proceeds from sales will be going to Toys for Tots. So you can feel good shopping because you'll also be helping out a really wonderful cause. So while I'm just doing my dippity dips here, I'll tell you another little Double Dip fact. You might not know it, but they are based out of the DFW area in Texas, and Garland to be exact. And so I grew up in Texas for quite a bit of my younger life, and my dad still lives out there. He's in Lake Granbury. So I'm really hoping that once this pandemic ends, I can go visit him. And when I do, I'm going to be making a trip up to Garland to go to their store. They have a shop that you can actually physically go into and get colors that aren't even listed on the website. So yeah, totally on my bucket list of things to do. I cannot wait. One day, hopefully, if COVID will go away, I will get to go back to Texas and Double Dip will be on the list of places I'm going to visit. So when I saw that gift box, I was saying earlier, it came in an advertisement from Ulta, and I loved the color combination. Oh, did you hear Ryder say hi? Yeah, thanks, Ryder. Okay, so anyways, back to the gift box. I was really excited it had that minty color in it because coconut mojito is one of my favorite Double Dip colors. I just love it. So any chance or any excuse I get to wear it, I was super happy about. Next up, we're going to do Baby Rosa, and I almost started doing it on my pinky. I don't know what I was thinking. I wanted the green to be over, starting from my thumb. So luckily, I caught myself before I did anything goofy. I'm sure if I had put green over there, I would have just acted like I meant to do that, but I didn't. So I'm glad I didn't do that. But Baby Rosa is a color I'm pretty sure that I got when I got the collection for Halloween 2020. It was one of the colors in their Halloween kit collection. And I actually liked that it was a little bit different because it's a nice green color without being like grass green. But then I also liked that it wasn't just kind of like the typical, kind of lime green kind of color that is pretty prominent around Halloween time and just really doesn't do me any particular favors. So yeah, this is a nice green. It's good for holidays. It's good for like really any time. And yeah, I usually don't like green, but this is one that I'm willing to wear. So I'm not gonna lie, about this point in this mani process, I was starting to question my life choices and if I was a crazy person for putting all of these colors on my nails. But you'll see, I kind of like work through it, and I do think the end result's gonna be cute. So hopefully you guys will stick around and see. But yeah, right about here, I was like, was this a bad life choice? Maybe. But thanks for sticking with me and watching me dip. I don't have really any nail looks on my channel or on my Instagram with short nails. So I was really glad when so many of you were interested in seeing me do this video today. And, I can understand why, especially for the ladies and gentlemen out there that are, wearing their nails short. You probably want to see more, relatable content. So yeah, thanks for sticking it out. And we got one more nail to do. And we saved this super, super highly pigmented hot pink for last. It's called Fuchsia Boots. And I was a little bit nervous since this pinky literally has no nail tip at all. It's to the pink. I wasn't sure how I was going to pull this off, but actually since the liquids are thin and the powders are nice and thin and fluffy, it works out. I was shocked. So watch me dip here. But one thing about such a pigmented powder, after I do the first dip, you'll notice that it's a little bit out of shot, but I always wipe my brush really, really well, because no matter what you do, even when you dust it off, there's a chance that these highly pigmented colors will get in your brush. And so just be really diligent about wiping your brush extra and making sure that you're not putting it back into your dip base bottle, because you might end up tinting your dip base bottle when you're using a really pigmented color. You also want to be careful to keep this powder away from your white nail that you just made, because you don't want to accidentally stain it in any form or fashion. So I was trying to be sure that I didn't make too big of a mess, because I didn't want to get any of that hot pink vibrant color on the white. And then remember how I was saying don't make a mess with this powder, and I immediately made a huge mess and had to stop and clean all this up. Once I got my disaster cleaned up, then it's time to do activator, and this is one of my favorite parts. The activator hardens the dip and makes it ready for buffing, filing, and shaping, but I really like the cool sensation when it soaks in through the dip powder to your nail bed. It feels like cold. I don't know. I say that in every video, but it really is like my favorite. So I'm going to apply this to all the nails, give them a really good healthy drink of the activator. This particular liquid you don't have to be as careful with. I mean, don't douse your skin all in it, but it's okay if it touches your skin. And then actually I will be taking a break at this point because my 3-year-old was demanding to eat hot dogs. And once you do this activator step, if you do need to take a break, it's okay for you to step away, take care of some things, even like rinse your hands off and everything, and then come back and pick up. So that's what I do actually during this part of the video. And on theme with this whole video, I keep saving this hot pink nail for last. And the reason being is because it's super pigmented, and you'll see here in a second, I'm gonna wipe my activator brush up here in the corner where I haven't touched anything else with like dip base or anything. And you can see some of the residue came off on that brush. And so that was good that I got that off so I don't put it back into my activator bottle. And then when I use that paper towel for my dip top later, I'll be sure to avoid that spot by all costs, because otherwise if you wipe in the same spot, you might harden your brush. And I'm glad that I mentioned from the beginning that this is going to be a longer video, because I am going to show you exactly how I file, shape, and buff these shorty nails. I figured that I hope that you wanted to see this part. Sorry if not, I just made an extra long video for you, but yeah, hopefully you wanted to see. I'm doing rounded tips because they are just so short. And so with them being rounded, in my mind, my whole goal here is that I was like, I'm gonna make them look like little candies, like little M&Ms. So that was my motivation here is rounding them. And then I use this crescent shaped file around the cuticle line area and just start smoothing everything down, cleaning everything up. And I just really love these crescent files. And then I'm using the finest side of the crescent file. See how I'm holding the file? I'm kind of balancing it, and then I'm lightly buffing the surface of the nail bed. Don't dig in because you don't want to take off like any chunks of the color or anything like that, but just smoothing it out, kind of a precursor to using the buffing block. And I'm just really smoothing and shaping and getting the natural curve of my nail to really kind of stand out. So yeah, just kind of sit back and watch, and hopefully this might help you if you are trying to shape your short nails. So I like my little candy baby nails, and I'm gonna grab my pink buffing block. I use the smoothest side of the buffing block. There's kind of different grits on it, but the smoothest side, I'm just gonna go around and get everything nice and smooth and be a big klutz while I do it, and yep. Just keep buffing my little heart away. I still am trying to be a little bit mindful to do the lightest colors first, and then that way if any of the powder residue comes off on the buffing block, I'm not like going into the hot pink and then rubbing that into the white, if that makes sense. So I'm still kind of trying to go from the lightest colors to saving that hot pink nail for last. So I think this looks fabulous, and if you like, you totally can stop your buffing, filing, shaping here, but I do want to do just a little extra oomph cleanup around my cuticles, and so I'm grabbing my Bellavena drill. Look how gorgeous this is. I am obsessed with this drill. It's so beautiful and so luxurious and seriously just like powerful. So I'm going to put my settings on reverse and 13. And then I'm just going to use this kind of flame-shaped bit that came with the drill. And I'm just gonna lightly, very gently clean up. I'm gonna try to get up close so you can see here. Just clean up right there in the nook, because I want it to look like my nail like grew that way, like that color like grew out of my finger. I want it to be like, wow, how'd you make that fingernail grow out of your finger like that? I know I'm being ridiculous, but I do want it to look, kind of like it slopes out and like it was meant to do it. So I'm just very gently, not digging into my nail bed or my cuticles, just running it around, letting the drill bit do the work and cleaning up all of the nails. And ooh, look at those babies. They're so fresh and crisp and clean. I'm gonna do one more run with the buffing block just to make sure that where I did the nail file, that everything's really like blended and smooth, and then just kind of like one more once over before we are going to rinse and move to our top coating steps. Here is one of my absolute favorite tools in the tool belt. I use this for prepping my nails, but then I also use it for cleaning up right in that little nook. If there's something I didn't get with the drill or the file, then that little slope gets right there. And then also you can gently rub any parts where you might have got like some liquid or powder on your skin, like residue on your skin. You can just like gently exfoliate it off with this little pumice stone tipped tool. They're in my Amazon shop, so you can check that out if you want to find some, but I literally can't live without this little pink thing. So I've just rinsed off, and cheers to us because our nails are looking cute. I love these little babies. I didn't think I was gonna love them, but I love them. So before I do the dip top coat, I do need to apply Activator because the Activator and the dip top, they have a chemical reaction to each other, and so you do have to make sure that you put on the Activator first, otherwise your dip top will not dry. And then I don't know why I am the way I am, but I think we all have like our nail rituals or nail habits that we do. And so once I get to the end and I do the last nail, then I go back and I reapply one more drink to all of them of this Activator. It's just, I have to do it. It's just a little ritual. So I wait about 30 seconds generally, and then I wipe it off with a paper towel. Just do a really good wipe off, and then we'll move into our dip top coat. And I haven't done dip top coat in a while. I've just been using gel top coat lately, but I really have such great results with double dip top coat. I don't know why I'm not reaching for it more often. I just kind of get in like little habits, I guess. So I'm switching over my paper towel to clean side, and I'm gonna be sure not to touch that area. Remember where I wiped Activator before, because you can harden your brush. So I'm getting a little dollop on the end of the brush. And for your first coat, you wanna just do 2 to 3 quick swipes. They do not have to be precise, just 2 to 3 quick swipes, get some on there, and do that to all of the nails. So about 45 seconds later, I start looking for signs to tell me that it's ready for the second top coat. And you'll try to see, hopefully you can tell, it gets like a little bit crinkly. And so that's what I'm looking to see. Can I tell that that first layer kind of looks crinkly? I don't know of a better way to explain it. But once I get that cue, then I'm going to go in with the second top coat. And this one can be more precise, and you can go slower, take your time, get right up to all the edges, right to the cuticle line and your sidewalls. Rotate your finger, make sure you're getting all of the little nooks and cranny areas. And yeah, you'll have really nice, glossy, shiny results. Also, especially for short nails, it's really a good idea to cap your ends. So I know I forgot to do that on the white one, and I went back and did it here and tried to just smooth it out and hope that I didn't disrupt the top coat, so I did get away with it, thankfully. But you do want to be careful because you really cannot do a third top coat. It just won't dry. The way that the liquid system works together, really 2 top coats is the maximum that you can do because it needs that activator solution for it to dry and harden. And here's a little close-up. I cannot wait to hydrate my hands. My skin looks so dry from just the whole dipping process, but don't worry, we're gonna moisturize and things will get a lot better. About a minute or 2 later, then I'm going to hydrate my cuticles and skin around my nails with the Double Dip Cuticle Oil. This one smells like lavender, but it's nice and light and nourishing, and it makes your skin revived. See, look, I look like a whole new person. So I absolutely love the results. Everything's nice and shiny. I do like the combo. I know it's a little bit unexpected, but that was what we were kind of going for. It was inspired by that gift box and had the retro Christmas colors. So it's a fun way to do something a little bit different for Christmas without being, you know, the typical red and green and gold. So I hope that you enjoy this look. And remember, if you shop at Double Dip in the month of December 2021 here, a portion of those proceeds will be going to Toys for Tots. So check out the description box for all of the information, all the products I used today. And I just want to say thank you again for being my nail friends. I love you all bunches. Hope you guys are having a great day, and I'll talk to you later. Bye. Also, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more videos.